entertainer and nothing more. And that was never going to be enough for Sam Cooke.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, Sam Cooke.
He was a complicated black man in a complicated world.
Sam was taking a big risk by saying, I don't want to play in a segregated space.
Klan members down there had a problem with that.
Suddenly there are threats suggesting you should not go up on that stage.
He was threatening. There was a sense in the music industry that Sam was getting too powerful.
Who would want to shoot Sam Cooke?
There are a lot of people who believe that there was some sort of cover-up.
People deeply felt that the FBI was somehow involved.
When I found out Sam Cooke, Muhammad Ali, and Malcolm X were all connected, I said, what a huge threat to America.
Looking at these men, Sam Cooke might be the most dangerous to you because he's already in white American living rooms.
This very mysterious death, what happened and why was he there and who was this woman, and all those become bigger questions than what was he on the edge of achieving.
What's up, my good people in the YouTube world? This is your boy, the Mass YouTuber, and I'm right back up at y'all with another video. And guess what? It's Black History Month. You feel me? And Black History Month always make me a proud person. Prior to really getting into my own culture, which is being a black man from America, I spent a lot of time looking at things in ancient Egypt. You feel me? Spent a lot of time looking at stuff in ancient Egypt. And I feel kind of bad because I never really took the time out to look at my direct ancestors and people from the South, okay? So my mother, she was born in North Carolina, and my father, he was born in Alabama. So I'm really a first generation New Yorker, all right? So when I read things or I see videos about people from the South during, the 50s and the 60s, I look at where my people come from and where we are now. And honestly, I always want to give props to the people who laid it down during those times, because their hard work and struggle is, paved the way for someone like the Mass YouTuber to be able to get up here and talk to everybody. So salute to all of the people that put it down before us and all of the people that's gonna do it in the future. Now, I watched that Netflix special, The Two Deaths of Sam Cooke, and it was a true eye-opener. I just thought Sam Cooke was a normal singer. I did not know that he did so much for our people. You feel me? But for a little synopsis and a little summary of exactly who Sam Cooke was, we're gonna send it off to my boy B Live. B Live, take it away, brother.
Sam Cooke was born on January 22nd, 1931. Cooke's father, Charles Cooke, was a well-known reverend, and naturally, Sam would spend a lot of time in the church. While in church, Sam began a gospel group with his siblings called the Singing Children. Cooke would later join the Highway GQs at the age of 14. And even as a teen, people noticed his talent. While when Cooke sang, people tended to listen. In 1950, Cooke would replace gospel tenor R.H. Harris as the lead singer in the group The Soul Stirrers. Cooke would gain a large following. His vocals helped bring gospel music to a wider audience, an audience which would include many young women. And it was during this time that Cooke realized that his talent could carry him to new heights. Struggling with his want to make R&B music and to continue with his gospel career, Cooke would make a decision that would disappoint his gospel audience by choosing to go pop. And in 1964, Cooke would have 30 U.S. hits. While considered a commercial success, his most important work came from his fight for civil rights. Inspired by the death of fellow Chicago teen Emmett Till, Cooke would soon become one of the most influential entertainers of all time. Cooke was the first black recording artist to start a record company and publishing company. And for more of that, we're going to bring it back to the Mass YouTuber. Mass One, take it away, brother.
All right, thank you, B Live. Thank you, B Live. And that man has a beautiful voice. Somebody need to put that man on TV or something. Yes. But like I was telling y'all before we got the summary, this guy, Sam Cooke, was a very important figure, all right, for a couple of reasons. One of the first reasons why he was very important is because he broke down barriers. And what I mean when I say that is that there was a couple times where he refused to perform in front of a segregated crowd. He said, if you want me to perform, then my black people need to be partying with everyone else. And considering that time period when things like that was happening, you gotta tip your hat to a man that would stand up and do something like that. Also, for my people in the boxing world, Sam Cooke and Muhammad Ali became very good friends, and I did not know this. These guys exchanged ideas, and they basically broke down the stereotype. They showed us that you could be an educated brother, you could be on television, and you could be happy about your roots and who you are as a person. In one part of the video, they were speaking about Sam Cooke and how he always wanted to wear his hair out and how he wanted to show his afro and how he always encouraged everyone to go natural. And that's interesting because now in the year 2019, I see a lot of sisters going natural. And this is something that Sam Cooke preached from way back in the 60s. So he was definitely ahead of the bunch when it came to that. Also, Sam Cooke was an entrepreneur. They said he was also pretty good friends with Malcolm X and Jim Brown. And what he learned from the Nation of Islam is how to be organized and how to be self-sufficient and how to structure yourself financially. And he looked at those things and he started his own record company and distribution company. Now, this is a black man that was doing this back in the time when not a lot of us was owning things. You have to tip yourself, you have to tip your hat to someone who had that type of vision. In the documentary, they also tell another story that I love, all right? I feel that we are here to protect our children and our queens, okay? I'm not a violent person, but I will come to blows with you if you're trying to disrespect my queen or you're trying to disrespect one of our children. You understand? I protect the queens and I protect the children. And there was a situation that Dionne Warwick had when she went to a segregated diner in the South. She sat down, the waiter told her that she had to get up. So she gets up and then she asked the waiter if you're gonna take my order. And the waiter got smart with her. And you know you can't act like that with someone like Dionne Warwick, who is another beautiful sister. If y'all can, go back and check some of Dionne Warwick's work, man. She put it down. So, you know, they went to the tour bus after that. And a cop comes onto the tour bus. And, you know, he's calling them boys and gals, stuff that we still go through today. And Sam Cooke nicely let the police officer know that this is personal property. You need to get your ass up out of here because it ain't no gals up here. We are grown people and we are to be respected. And that is something that I definitely admire anyone that protects our queens. All right? Now, this leads us into the second half of his life, which was his death. All right? And for more on his death, we're going to send it back to my man B Live. So B Live, take it away, brother.
On December 10th, 1964, Cooke headed out for a night on the town. He drove his Ferrari to a restaurant in Hollywood. While there, he met a 22-year-old woman named Elisa Boyer. The two spent the evening together and ended up getting a $3 room at a sketchy Los Angeles motel. While Cooke was in the bathroom, Boyer grabbed the singer's clothes and belongings and bolted from the motel room. The only articles Boyer left behind were Cooke's shoes and his sports jacket. Enraged, Cooke put on his sports jacket, went to the manager's office, and began pounding on the door. The manager, Bertha Franklin, insisted that Elisa Boyer was not in the office, but Cooke would not be stopped. He broke down the door and forced his way inside. Cooke accused Franklin of collaborating with Boyer to rob him, and the altercation turned physical. In the struggle, Cooke and Franklin fell to the floor. Franklin then produced a handgun and shot Cooke in the chest. The singer reportedly exclaimed, "Lady, you shot me," before he collapsed and died.
QB Live. So, looking at that, man, he most definitely died in a mysterious fashion. Now, the official reports say that the hotel manager got away with it. They say it was a justifiable homicide because they say that Sam Cooke may have been belligerent. They took his blood alcohol level, his BAC, and they found out that it was twice the legal limit. I think it was like 0.14 or something like that. Now, of course, his family members and his fans are not going to believe that because from the reports that I read, everyone say that Sam Cooke was a gentleman. But I'm not going to comment on that because I was not there. But I will say this, man. The lady who he picked up lied about her being a prostitute. You understand what I'm saying? Now, I'm not going to be up here and sound all ignorant and say that a prostitute can't be raped, because a prostitute can be raped. You understand what I'm saying? However, when we look at the facts of the case and that they claim that he had a wad of money, like close to $5,000 in his pocket, and then all they could recover is a little under $200 after that. So it would seem as if somebody did rob him, and maybe that was a scheme that they was running. You understand? Also, these two people did pass polygraph tests, the manager of the hotel, the night manager, and also the woman that he took to the hotel room. They did pass polygraph tests, but I didn't see the polygraph test. And back in those days, man, people was getting away with anything. You know what I mean? So I really don't know. But I kind of lean toward them robbing this man. Because, it looked like that. That's exactly what it looked like when I first heard it. That they was running a scheme, the night manager and also the prostitute, and they lined them up. And unfortunately, when our greats their lives had to be taken. Another thing that I'm hearing is that his manager at the time who he was breaking away from could have did it. From what I understand, they say that Sam Cooke was making a lot of moves to try to become independent. And they say that around that time, the mob was controlling the music industry. And they say that a few people came up to his dressing room and basically threatened him, told him to get those ideas of entrepreneurship out of your head because they run this industry. You feel me? So that was another line, or that was another area that could be controversial. I don't think that that's what happened to him. It just seems like a classic setup to me. It just really seems like a classic setup to me. And I also got to mention the Illuminati before we get up out of here. Maybe in the 60s, blaming everything on the Illuminati wasn't so cool. You feel me? But, you can't rule it out, man. The Illuminati got a lot of power. They got a lot of power, man. But this has been a long video, and I want to thank y'all for watching. And if you can, check that Netflix special, man. You will be entertained, and it was very informative. It let me know a lot about the man they call Sam Cooke that I didn't know. All right, so if you want to be enlightened and if you want to be entertained, that's most definitely something that you guys need to be watching. You feel me? And stay tuned to me, because I am dropping more videos. Tomorrow, they're releasing something on the BTK. They are talking to his daughter. All right, and she's going to release some secrets and let us know what was going on in her life and how it was being raised by one of the most notorious serial killers there ever was, man. And one more again, there's many mass YouTubers, you dig? There's many mass YouTubers, but there's only one from Long Island, you dig? This is the Long Island mass YouTuber, and I'm about here. Thank y'all for watching one more again. Yeah.